perfect. I want to welcome everybody, family, friends. So happy that you guys are here, especially the class of 2025. Before I do what I want to do and say, Todd, I'd like you to step up. Todd Thompson, CEO and President of the Chamber.
Thank you, Scott. Again, class of 2025, family, friends, welcome to this year's graduation. You made it. This is a great group right here. I'm very, very impressed. But yeah, I just want to say a few words. Leadership Pensacola is really one of the gems of what we do at the Greater Pensacola Chamber of Commerce. Started in 1982, so over 40 years now. And Jerry Maygarden, who used to be in my position at the Chamber, said he would go to conferences all over the country and he would hear about, people from Dallas, people from Chicago would come up to him and say, I hear your leadership program is incredible. So the reputation of Leadership Pensacola goes beyond just our community. It really goes across the country. So getting through the program, getting that certificate, it really means something. And on behalf of the Chamber and our Board of Directors, congratulations. And I do just want to say a special thank you to Scott and Josh and everyone who's been involved with this class, all the day chairs, the curriculum committee, and I want to emphasize this as well. They're the ones that make this program work. They are giving their time, their resources, and I just want to say a special thank you to you guys. You guys keep the program going. So, yeah, thank you. So that's my call to action now. As you graduate and look at next year, stay engaged, stay involved. There are so many opportunities to be in, a part of the alumni, to be a part of the days. So, just stay with it, and we'll work with you to make that happen. But again, congratulations. Very excited for you, and just have a great day.
Thanks, Todd. I really want to thank the day committee. So for this day, you guys know it has been up and down and round and in and out, constantly changing. And each of these days has got a committee, all volunteers. All of us are doing this just because we know how important the program is, how important each day is to giving you exposure to what's going on in Pensacola. So while they're not here because they had other things that were going on, because they took the call and they're involved. But I really want to thank Beach and his team for all they did. And Megan, for putting together this venue within 24 hours. Megan Whitney, thank you for being there, for providing that advice and guidance the entire year. Couldn't have done what we did. The Leap Home project is, without a doubt, and I'm going to talk about it more, is phenomenal, and the help that you provided. Todd, the entire staff, you always had our backs, and you were always there to back us up and take care of us. Quinn, Megan, you guys did a fantastic job keeping us rolling, and I really, really appreciate that. As volunteers, and most importantly, obviously, that goes without saying that the program wouldn't be a program without the class, right? So I'd like to invite Megan Whitney up to talk about the project a little bit and give us a little of your perspective.
Good afternoon, class. And yes. So leadership is rarely tidy. It doesn't look like a consensus and harmony or a perfect color-coded project plan. Trust me, I know. Sometimes this looks like tension. Sometimes it sounds like hard conversations. And sometimes, if you're lucky, it ends with something extraordinary. Over the next few weeks, you'll be completing your project. You've navigated real challenges together. You've experienced setbacks, strong opinions, shifting roles, and unexpected detours, to say the least. You all kept going. As your alumni project chairs, Whitney and I have had the privilege of cheering you on, reminding you of your big picture, and occasionally helping to translate chaos into actionable steps. And from that vantage point, we saw something remarkable. You did not give up. I know you wanted to. Teresa talked this morning about goals, lofty goals, and you all set some lofty goals, and some very lofty goals. You remodeled an entire house in about 5 months, but you met those lofty goals and then some. You raised over $100,000. On something that was incredibly worthwhile. You kept the family promise serves at the heart of your project. Today, thanks to your time, your sweat, and your persistence, and you don't just have a nearly completed, it will be completed very soon, house, you have a home. A home where families experiencing homelessness will stay together, parents and children under one roof, safe, warm, and on a path forward. A home where you have left a legacy. You didn't just build something with doors and new baseboards and lots of paint. You built something with heart and determination and the kind of messy collaboration that leadership is really made of. In years to come, long after the punch list is completed and the furniture has been broken in and the towels are inevitably lost, the house will still be standing. Families will come and go. Sorry. Families will come and go, but what remains is the impact. You created a place where healing can begin and hope can grow. Wow. So as you graduate today and work to finish the final touches of the house, I invite you to leave behind the stress and the frustration and the moments where you almost walked away. Instead, carry forward this truth. You are making a lasting difference by leading with purpose. You've proved that a group of people brought together by a program can build something that truly changes lives. Congratulations, Leadership Class of 2025. The house is just the beginning. Keep building what matters.
Thanks, Greg. You know, I look back to our class project.
Which one?
The half that you ran that succeeded, and the impact that that had. Truly a special experience. What a ride. This has been one heck of a year. And you guys have learned a lot, and so have I. And for that, I am eternally grateful. We've experienced a lot together this year. We've heard labels, rumors, criticisms, and some of the negative comments came from this own class and everybody in the room. But in my opinion, it came out of ignorance and a lack of understanding. And when you really think about it, because you guys were asking, hey, when do we get to label ourselves? My vote would be for those experienced class. You guys had the same program as everybody else. You did the same days. You met an awful lot of the same people. And you learned so much more. You learned that from the challenges that you faced. Challenges are what help us grow. If it were easy, you wouldn't grow. But in order to really grow, you have to truly reflect on what transpired. And that's hard. And so I'm challenging you today to spend some time looking inward, not just at who you met and the other pieces, but how you responded to the difficult situations. Like I said, through those difficult situations where you learn the most. If you spend time looking at the difficult situations, you will see some insight and some opportunities that are truly valuable. Leadership is about doing the work, facing hard truths, and continuing to show up. Often, though, we miss what's really important when we're analyzing how we responded. And that's grace. You've got to give grace, and you've got to receive grace in order to truly lead. And grace is such a churchy word, and it kind of will turn some people off and go, My experience, and we all have had the same experience probably. In grade school, you were given a piece of paper. You're told to write a story. But what was on the side of that paper? Margins. I wrote a great story in the 3rd grade. It was awesome. I don't remember what it was, but I remember it was awesome. What I do remember is the 2 red lines that got put down on either side. Grace is doing this. Move the margins. Move them for yourself. Move them for others. But maintain perspective. Meg already talked about perspective indirectly. What you guys have done with Leap Home, perspective is generational. You're taking a house, you're putting some paint, you're throwing some flooring in there, that's a house. You guys created a home. And as Meg alluded to, there are kids that will receive that benefit. That will affect their families. Don't lose sight of that perspective. One of the perspectives that's a fault of mine is if we're not on fire and we're getting shot at, it's not that big a deal. I've experienced both, fortunately not at the same time. But it does change the way that you look at things. You guys have experienced a lot, and so now you have a different perspective that you can carry forward. Leadership, true leadership, is about service. It's about making your community stronger by first improving yourself. So that when you show up, you know who you are and how you can build others up. It's about choosing over and over again to stay engaged, reflect, grow, and give back. The challenge I'm leaving you guys with is take all of the experience that you've gained this year, the good, the not so good, and use it. Use it to serve, connect, lead, and lead with empathy, courage, and grace. The community needs leaders like you. That's why you were selected for this program. So now, with any further ado, congratulations, and let's start handing out some certificates.
All right, so we're going to call you up, and you'll take a picture between Scott and Josh. Formal camera is right there, and then go to the back of the room.
Remember that we're live streaming, so be good.
And you can wave to the camera if you like. Right? All right, Alicia Macklin. Andy Molina. Angie Morris. Angie King. Anna Lucas. April Davidson.
You sparkle, girly.
Ashley Kent.
Yay, Ashley.
Betsy Hart. Brian Renee. Bridget Brooks. Carol Van Dresser.
Good job.
Kat Lysick. Charles Bigham. Charlotte Bergman. Christy Rogers. Courtney Radcliffe. Dante Shepard. Emily Kozan. We're prepared. All right, what's
She
the,
started as one, and this is another.
Aaron Mayfield. Freddie Bell. Jackie Geen. Jeremy Sakibal. Jessica Johnson. Jim Wake. Joel Richardson. Joy Powell.
Did I close my eyes? It's my phone, I'm gonna use it now.
He's a patience.
Justine Roper. Doctor.
Oh, I broke it?
It doesn't like the back to back.
Joel broke
There
it.
it goes. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Katie Henry.
Hold on. I'll tell you, maybe you don't have to hold it. Okay, now we're ready. 1, 2. Just kidding. There.
Katrina Jackson.
One, two.
Katrina Simmons.
That's far away.
Kelly Moore.
There.
Michaela Washington.
One. Relax. I'll count it. Ready? Okay, ready? 1, 2. There we go.
It's yeah, I'm married.
Matt Coverdale.
Nope. You don't have to hold it. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. There we go.
Melissa Puckett.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. There.
Now it's.
Michelle Carlton. Michelle Wilson.
Well, don't jinx it. 1, 2, 3. There we go.
Marie Hudson. Renee Pierre Robinson.
That's my friend.
That's my boss.
That's my name.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Seth Sager. Shannon Owens.
Congratulations. You guys are awesome. But as it's been alluded to a few times, this is not the end. This is the beginning. But before we get to that, Josh, would you come up and give them a little bit of information about the Eric Dolker Award?
Good afternoon, everyone. Every year, we give out what's called the Eric Dolker Memorial Award. He was a class member in 2012 who was very, very involved with LEAP, loved it, really took a leadership role in the project, and was really just sort of the unofficial cheerleader and leader of the class, a dynamic, charismatic, just brilliant, beautiful guy. During the course of the class, he passed away. And you know, the class was never the same. They certainly suffered that loss. And so every year since then, we award the Eric Dolker Memorial Award to someone who is really emblematic of his spirit. Someone who leads from behind, servant leader, as Scott mentioned, someone who sort of goes unsung, but is sort of the secret glue, not only in the class, not only in the after hours, but most definitely in the project. And so this year, Meg is going to help me present the Eric Dolker Memorial Award to Shannon.
Use the mic.
For Carol only, I will use the mic. This is, we heard this meeting so fast. I am privileged and honored, not one just to stand here, but to know and have come to know each one of you. And it really is a privilege and honor. And I will say this because maybe nobody else will. I know that we've all had our disagreements and setbacks and words. But what Scott said today rang true is that, you know, sometimes it takes just reflecting and coming together as a whole to realize what we have sitting right next to us, right in front of us, and right behind us. And I couldn't go without thanking all of you all who have made this possible, especially you, Scott, who've been there with us through the thick and the thin and have heard everything and then some, I'm sure. So I'm thankful for your patience and your grace. Grace. And Megan, I have to thank you. I know you came in late, but I appreciate you giving up your anniversary dinner to make this what it is today. So thank you so much for that. And then I also want to thank Quinn in the back also for being here. This class has shifted tremendously, but I'm thankful for, like I said, I'm honored and privileged to be here and honored to be standing alongside with all of you. And I can't wait to see what we all do after today.
Congratulations. Now, some of you have asked, what's next? Well, what's next is Mike. Class of 2024. So now I can do the lowdown of everything that's going on. All right, appreciate that. Balloons, be careful. Well, Mike, class of 2024.
Yay!
Class of 2025, congrats to y'all. Carol,
Yeah.
So close.
So
You're so
close.
close to being together.
So close.
But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you finished. I'm glad that you've all finished. I know, based on what Scott said about this year's class and all some downs that y'all have been through, the amount of resilience that takes to really kind of overcome that kind of stuff, y'all deserve it, and y'all should be very proud of yourselves. So yeah, what's next? I mean, you go through everything that you've gone through, especially y'all, because this year's been ups and downs for y'all. So it's like, there's gotta be something more. Something's gotta pay off, right? Well, it's entirely up to y'all at that point. So, first of all, you definitely want to stay active with, Leadership Pensacola. Getting involved in the LEAP Alumni Association and continuing to stay involved in that capacity, whether that's the willingness to serve survey, which Josh will be going over here in a little bit, or even just as simple as attending LEAP after hours for next year's class and the classes after. That's going to allow you to connect with people in other classes that you might not have gotten to connect with this year or in previous years, whatever it may be. It's a great networking opportunity, and it just allows y'all to kind of build that camaraderie. And then you also want to make sure that you're contributing to projects in some capacity with Leadership Pensacola. I was going to say, I'm sure y'all remember how hard it was to raise money for this year's project, but y'all absolutely destroyed us, apparently. So, I'm not sure how y'all did that. But those kinds of insights and those kinds of tips are going to be very important for next year's class and classes moving forward. There are going to be some classes who may struggle with the fundraising aspect of things, so giving them that insight, or at least being there to support them monetarily, in kind, whatever it might be, is extremely important as well. Staying connected, obviously finding out what you can do for your classmates moving forward. How many nonprofits do we have in this year's class? Raise your hand if you're nonprofits. And nonprofits, yeah, absolutely. Nonprofits, a lot of what they do and a lot of the support they get come from volunteers. So by supporting them in that capacity, you're also continuing to do what you were called to do and what you were nominated to do this year, which was to serve in a leadership capacity. Scott said it, I think it was a podcast that I watched once before I think you started your class or after you finished your class, but everyone's going to be in a leadership capacity in some way, shape, or form, whether you're working as an account executive in sales, you may work, or volunteer as a leader with some sort of nonprofit. So that's always something to make sure to keep in mind, is just to lead in some way. And then just to continue on the friendships that you currently have built in this year's class, and then to develop those friendships. Dr. Aaron, you did a great job bringing everybody together, people that they haven't gotten a chance to talk to before, and a lot of connections were made today. People that y'all haven't gotten a chance to really talk to, build on those. Continue to go to lunches, go to LEAP after hours, do your own after hours events. Just continue to stay together and stay focused on what y'all are doing. And then staying aware. From what y'all remember, I'm sure, from Civics and Government Day, as well as the Tallahassee trip, for those of you that went, local legislation, the local level, that's where a lot of the big change happens. A lot of the stuff that's passed at the federal level, you really don't hear about until it's on the news, unless you're really just into C-SPAN, and maybe you probably heard about it prior. But a lot of that stuff is happening at the local level. That's where a lot of the big change happens, and Mayor Reeves has done a great job of inviting the community in to try and be a part of that. So be a part of that in some capacity. And then now you have a unique insight, so use that. Y'all have seen things behind the scenes that no one else really gets to see. I know for me personally, the biggest impact was Military Day, and really understanding what it is that they're doing and how much of an impact that has, not only on our country, but on our own community as well. So just using that insight to kind of pull others in and allow them to get involved is really important. So just continue to stay involved, stay active, and when it comes time to put out nominations for the following class, just be thinking of people that that kind of fit that role and you think would benefit from something like this. So thank you.
So before we close this out, if you guys thought that I had forgotten Josh, I didn't.
Yeah!
But I still was unable to put down in words what his assistance and help and guidance and mentorship meant to me this year. Couldn't have done it without you, bud. Late night texts, early morning texts, just, staying there, staying the course, and helping me every step of the way. Without a doubt, I am so glad you were on this team with us. So, he has the mantle for next year, He's going to be looking for help from people that have experience. So don't be shy about offering up the help that you've got. And so with that, I turn it over to you, Josh.
I want to echo Scott's comments. It's an incredible amount of work goes into planning each of the days, goes into the project, goes into just coordinating everything. This year's class of 2025, really began over a year ago when the nominations for you all went out, when the applications for you all were due. And Scott was there every step of the way. I don't think I was at a single meeting that he wasn't at, providing leadership and guidance and counsel. I mean, you talk about servant leadership. Scott actively solicited opinions and feedback, welcomed disagreement, because as we all know, that's what makes us better. And he taught me incredible lessons about leadership, about interpersonal dynamics, that genuinely I've taken into my personal life, my professional life, and those lessons will certainly carry forward to the next year's class and make them better. I can honestly say that this year's class, the successes, the triumphs that you all have shared would not have happened without Scott's leadership and experience. So let's please give a standing ovation to Scott. So, next year, as Scott said, I am the curriculum chair for next year. Whitney will be your project, or the class's project chair for next year. I hope that you all have learned a lot through this experience. I know some things didn't go according to plan, and as we discussed this morning, I think there were a lot of lessons to be gleaned from that as well. I have learned a lot from you all, and what's so great about this program is that subsequent years will be able to enact those lessons learned. This is the beginning of a very fulfilling journey for you, if you so choose. Just like with LEAP, you get out of it what you put into it, right? And if you continue to stay involved, I think you'll find, as Mike said, that there is a community of hundreds, if not thousands of people here in Pensacola who are willing to give back to you and mentor you, and whom you can mentor and give back to. So, at some point today, you should get in your emails what's called a willingness to serve survey. It'll ask you your top 5 choices to serve on a day committee for next year. As Todd said, this program would not exist without the alumni. And I want you guys on my team. I want the experiences, I want your resources, I want your background, I want your connections, and I want next year's class to be the best class ever. And I believe it will only be the best class ever if as many of you contribute as possible. So please fill out that survey. Please serve alongside of me the next year's class and help them to also have a fulfilling experience. It's been a pleasure getting to know each and every one of you. It really has. And you are now Leadership Pensacola alumni. Congratulations. And with that, feel free to mix and mingle and photo. Anna is telling me a photo. Group photo. Do you want to do that? Where do you want to do that?
Right there.
Let's do it right here before everyone disperses. Yeah, I know.